Hello children, welcome to my class. I am Miss Ho and we will continue with chapter 5 and today we are going to read the text. Okay, My Best Friend by Claire Wong. Now, I'm sure that every one of you have friends. Maybe one, maybe two, or maybe abundant of friends. But can you tell me who are your best friends and why are they your best friends? Is it because they are kind to you, or because they are generous, or because you have similar hobbies or tastes? So why do you be friends with them, and what do you do together? Now, here Claire Wong is writing about her best friend. But before we read the text, I would like to do some revision on the vocabulary first. So when we describe someone, we need some adjectives. And some of the adjectives we used to describe a person's character. So here are some of them. Number 1, confident. Confident. 2, diligent. Diligent. Another word for diligent is hard working. They are the same. Number 3, generous. Generous. 4, humble. Humble. 5, loyal. Loyal. 6, responsible. Responsible. 7, punctual. Punctual. Okay, now before we move on to the text from Claire Wong, can you guess what are the characters of Claire Wong's best friend? Is he or she confident? Is he or she diligent or generous or humble? Or maybe Claire Wong describes her best friend as loyal, responsible, or punctual. Can you pick two to guess? All right, let's move on to let's go to the text and see how Claire describes her best friend. My Best Friend by Claire Wong. My mom and dad separated when I was 6. Dad went to live in Shanghai. I remember that I waved goodbye bravely and then cried when Dad's plane left. It was very difficult. I couldn't talk to any of my other friends about it. But Ted has always been there for me. He is the most loyal friend ever. Okay, here separated in Chinese 分開. That means when a marriage ends and the husband and wife separates, it means they are divorced, okay? And they don't live together anymore. So, and Dad went to live in Shanghai. Okay, so Shanghai, you know, is a place in China. So he has to say goodbye. And cried when Dad's plane left. It was very difficult. I couldn't talk to any of my other friends about it. Okay, here difficult, it doesn't mean that the book is really difficult, I do not understand, or the test paper is difficult and I failed it. It's not like that. It's about feeling that you feel sad and there are a lot of problems. So it's a very difficult situation full of problems and maybe confusion and also cause a lot of trouble. Okay, so that means difficult. It is more like describing Clara's feeling at that time. Okay, so you can see the first word, loyal, right? but Ted has always been there for me. He is the most loyal friend ever. So the first adjective Claire used to describe her best friend is, yes, you're right, it's the word loyal. So you can see here, loyal. All right, let's see the second one. Ted and I spend a lot of time together. Sometimes we play, sometimes we just sit quietly. When I am feeling sad or lonely, Ted pushes his cold, wet nose into my hand. He always understands how I feel. We never quarrel. Can you think of a word to describe Ted? It is describe Claire's best friend. Yes, his name is Ted. Yes. And what do you think of Ted? Yeah, maybe there's a new word. It's not from your book, but you have learned it before. You can see the word, he always understands how I feel. Then you can say he or she is understanding. Understanding. We never quarrel, so they never argue with each other. So you can say maybe Ted is gentle and understanding. All right, next. So you can see a park and Claire is whistling or maybe singing. So let's see. When we go to the park, other kids want to play with him. He is very popular. He always looks at me eagerly with his big brown eyes, as if to ask, "Is it okay?" before he runs off. When it is time to go home, he always comes when I whistle. So here is whistle. Does any one of you know how to whistle? Miss Ho, I do not know how to whistle. Alright, so here, can you think of an adjective to describe Ted? Yeah, you can see it now, right? Popular. That means many people like him. And any more? Okay. I think popular would be the one, and maybe outgoing because he always plays with other kids or friends. Now here I would like to explain the word eagerly. What does it mean by eagerly? He always looks at me eagerly with his big brown eyes. So eagerly means with a strong desire or interest. That means he really, really wants to go. Okay, so he will look at Claire's eyes and say, "Can I go? Can I go? Is it okay that I leave you?" Yeah, before he runs off to play with other kids. That means he really, really wants something. That's eagerly. Okay, when you maybe you want to buy a Switch. Okay, the video game which is very, very popular now. So you really want a set of Switch, and then you ask your mom eagerly that, "Can I have a Switch? I want to play 动物之森." Or maybe I want to play Splatoon or something like that, or Mario, Super Mario. Then you can ask your mom eagerly, and of course she may say no or yes. Okay, depending how well behaved you are. Okay, so this is easy test, right? So as here you can see that Claire, in these 3 paragraphs, he described Ted as a loyal friend and very understanding and gentle and then popular. Okay,